Hello, everyone. Welcome to a stream with me and Tanika. Don't really have another intro beyond that, but Tanika, welcome. You're muted. I think you got to take yourself off mute. We're going to talk about post-trial impressions. We ask each other questions. So that's my little spiel, my little intro.
There you go. Is there reindeer music playing? Am I hearing things?
No, that was Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy.
Oh, okay. Oh my God, I forgot that soon.
We just talked about this.
Oh my
Tanika.
God. It sounded different once we went live. I was like, is there a sleigh bell?
I was playing Sarah Bond earlier. That was the different one.
Sorry. Okay. Hi, everybody. How are you? I think just the trial itself, that it finally happened, is my biggest relief. I feel like it's been dragging on and on, at least for 9 months. We've been like, when is this going to happen? She was sentenced on December 3rd. So anytime after that, they could have pulled the trigger. So I'm glad it happened. I'm glad Brian stood up for himself. I feel like he was very generous. He's still looking out for Sarah, despite her being super ungrateful. I mean, he stored her things. He went and packed up her little stinky pink shorts and put everything in storage for her, and all at his own time and expense. I'm sure he had to get a sitter while that was, you know what I mean? And she's like grateful for nothing. She never says thank you. It's like, give me more, give me more. You owe me this, you owe me that. So I'm glad like he set up firmer boundaries within this, and also that he stuck to his guns, because I was worried, like, is he gonna chicken out? Because he does so much for her. I don't know if it's like out of sympathy or pity, but it felt like at the trial, it's more out of like trying to look out for her because she's burned all her bridges with her family and he knows she has no one else. But at some point, you have to get over that's the mother of my child thing. And I think he's like ready to say, like, I'll help facilitate this relationship. It's got to be safe for our son. But all the other things you got going on, honey, take it up the road.
And you know what? If you think about it, how would you get through 13 years of marriage with Sarah Boone unless you were just the most accommodating, like, not necessarily pushover, but very non-confrontational or like you just like he was in the trial, right? He was very matter of fact. He did not get emotional. Well, I mean, he did at points, but more with exasperation and at like a 1/10 degree of what everyone else would, and everyone else in the audience was feeling. We're like, oh my God, what is she doing? You have to kind of be that like amicable person to get along with her that long, or else if you're any kind of person that doesn't have any ability to accommodate somebody, that marriage would have lasted 3 weeks.
Oh my God.
Like,
That's max.
Unless maybe it is true, perhaps, that she changed over time, probably with the alcohol. But I don't know. So my first question is, what was your most surprising takeaway, if any?
How lost Sarah was. Like, she didn't know why we were there. She didn't know what was going on. She thought like the parenting plan was going to be talked about at some other time. She's wanting so much and she fights everything. Oh, excuse me. It might be a reflex. If Brian says, I want A, she's like, no, we have to have Z.
Yeah.
Because she was so vested in like the 33-page rant, and it has to be this and this and this. And then she got there, and from opening statements, she didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, I think that was also my most surprising takeaway. I think, and I don't know if you felt the same way. I think my assumption has been the entire time through her criminal trial. Well, if you go back to her interrogation, her criminal trial, and all those letters and all the texts, like, I think part of me assumed it was posturing. Like, it was, you know what I mean? Like,
yes,
you don't really believe this, right? You're just kind of going through the motions. Like, I think, was she, I felt like, she's bluffing. She's trying to bluff somebody that she thinks she is smarter than, saying, hey, you're going to get in trouble for this. You're going to get in trouble for that. and
Yes, it's that
trying to,
bravado only a
yeah,
bully could have, right?
right, bullying. But then it really became apparent during the trial. No, like she actually believes these things she is saying. Like, because for some reason, I thought like when the trial, not that she would perform any different, but the things she would be harping on over and over wouldn't have been like the text messages. It would have been like, oh, okay, I understand this is bullshit. I'm not, I'm not going to try to pull this. But she did the exact same thing, like the murder question, and having to be saying, did you call me a murderer? Right. Well, like it's one thing to put it in the letter because you're trying to sway favor from the judge and you're kind of just bringing up an accusation, but then you're in trial and you're asking about it. He gives a very clear and believable explanation of what actually happened,
Right.
and then you go back to the well and ask it again to the judge, having to say move on.
Right.
Plus it doesn't matter, like it would not matter at all.
Right.
Nobody, no judge, no counselor or anyone would ever think that calling your wife, your ex-wife, who murdered somebody,
Right, and is
a
a
murderer
convicted, yes.
to your child, is somehow abusive or inappropriate. Like it would never matter. But to her, it is so. It's such an affront to her, and
Right.
something that she thinks is so out of behavior of a responsible adult, because that's what's ultimately what she's saying, right? She's saying my ex-husband cannot raise a child like I can.
Right. Which is also like it's about appearances, right? That's why she can't get drunk, because of the appearance of it all. But two, as a mother, why would you say that? And he's the only one who can take care of the child. What point are you making? They're not going to release you because he called you a murderer so you can go and raise your child.
Right.
And your child probably had questions about it. Where's mommy? Where's George? Well, he has to say something to him.
Right, because he was 9 when this happened, right?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember when my kids were 9. They would have questions if I never showed up again. Like, if I never showed up and their mom was in jail, they would have some questions. They'd be like, "Where's dad and mom?" And my parents or whoever would be raising them would be like, "Don't worry about it. No, we don't."
And I just imagine that night too, like the night before she got arrested, that she was at Brian's house vetching about it's all George's fault. I'm sure she said something similar to that to her son, because she didn't have any tears like the next day. There was no sadness. It was all, well, let me explain why he got what he deserved. Not intentionally.
I think that was the other, through her testimony or through her questioning, the amount, I mean, to describe her as somebody that doesn't take responsibility is such an understatement. She not only doesn't take responsibility, she somehow manages to warp every single thing into somebody else's fault. It is an amazing ability, because you don't know how she's going to get there, but she does get there in terms of how she's explaining it. So I think some of just the stuff I wrote down,
oh my God,
was first off, when she's always saying, I'm a perfect student, I know how to do everything, right? But she doesn't know how to do this, or she doesn't know what she's doing in trial, right?
right?
That is blaming it on other people not having explained it to her. It is not a fault of hers that she doesn't know what she's doing. It's the fault of the instructor. So this would have been the same thing in high school.
Right.
I know exactly what to do. Nobody has explained it to me. So therefore, it's not a failure of mine. It's a failure of yours as the instructor. What is it?
And she has the circular logic. Do you notice how when they were asking her if she was sharing, when she was a free person, taking up the 50% of her time?
Right.
And then she's blaming it on the DV. So the answer is yes, you did not maintain your shared agreement when you were in the free world. For whatever reason, the answer is you didn't do it. Nobody cares about like, you have an excuse, But you didn't do it.
But it's not even an excuse. She said, she gives an explanation. She says, she reframes it as, I was protecting my child. I was protecting him by not having him over. And Brian was, in fact, the one trying to put him in danger by bringing him over to my house. That is the craziest. I mean, I don't know why it didn't occur to me before the trial that she was going to do that, but that is the craziest mental gymnastics you have to do to be like, I am dating somebody who I am labeling, and I'm not saying this is true.
No, right.
In her world, she is labeling George as a danger. She has invited this man not only over
to live
with her,
right,
and cohabitate with him,
to sleep in the same house that her son sleeps in when he is visiting.
Yes, but he is so dangerous. Her son cannot be there, and therefore Brian is at fault for bringing him to my house when it's my time because of this dangerous man I have brought over. That is so insane. How do you look yourself in the mirror? But you could tell she genuinely believes that is the case. She believes that she is almost virtuous for not having him over.
Yes, she was looking out for his best interest. Yes. What's wrong with y'all? Yes.
And it ties into all her comments. So like, Brian is notorious for bringing him over at the wrong times. You know, like, it's all Brian's fault for bringing him over. George is notorious for doing this. George killed himself, essentially. He didn't let him out of the suitcase. He let himself out.
He cried wolf too many times. How did I know he was serious?
He cried wolf. You know, if he hadn't done that before, if he hadn't said all these other times, you're going to kill me, I would have believed him. If his heart was better, he wouldn't have died.
Right. And his teeth were falling out. Did that have anything to do with it?
Do we could check with his dentist? Right. I mean, what is happening? If the suitcase wasn't there, he wouldn't have gotten in. I didn't put the suitcase there. George brought it down.
And he made me use the bat on. He was sticking his fingers out. I had to use the bat.
Even during the criminal trial, when she described me shaking the suitcase, what did she say? She goes, "Please stop doing this to me. Please stop doing this to me." Like, it is so ingrained in her brain that nothing she does is ever her fault. But at the same time, everything that is good, she will take 100% credit for.
Yeah.
I am an excellent mother. I do all this cleaning. I have
a blind dog. I have a deaf dog.
Deaf dog. All of this stuff. This is all because of me, my own doing. I am great. But what some of the other ones, she said, that was the other crazy one. The communication, the bringing up, you cannot use your child as a communication form between the other parents. So that was a twofold one. Not only was she doing it,
yes,
by using Luke to send
carry messages,
carry
like
messages,
a little carrier pigeon.
So not only by the letter of the agreement is she in violation, but actually it is Brian's fault because Brian made her do that by not answering messages, not picking up the phone, not responding to letters, not
not responding to tablet messages. What else was she to do?
Not only is she violated it, but it's because of Brian. Brian is actually in violation of that sentence in the thing. Brian is actually in violation of that because he's forcing me to use the child to communicate with him. And it's just like, there can be nothing you do wrong, right? Because everything you say, you're going to come up with a reason for it and say that it's somebody else's fault. Brian didn't do it, but because you insisted on talking to him or harassing him,
right.
Because that's the other thing, control. I think we'll get into the next thing. Control is such a huge thing for her.
I think it's tied to insecurities.
Yeah, I think I was actually thinking. Well, I don't want to do all my topics. If you have a question, we can go to one of yours, and then we can go back.
No, go ahead.
So her obsession with control, and it goes into everything, right? So she what was the first thing? Her very first question to Brian was, "When have you included me on major decisions?" That was her very first. That was her you know, you got to come out of the gates with your biggest argument. That was her very first question, but also at the same time, she wasn't really doing sound legal strategy, but you could tell that was on her mind, right? So she's just flying off, you know, whatever. That was one of her biggest points up front. When have you included me on a major decision? And we find out the two major decisions are COVID,
Right.
which and relocation. Now, I mean, people's stance on vaccination, whatever. You know, I'm not going to judge them this way or that way. I'm vaccinated, but that's because I'm an at-risk person, right? But if people, and I made sure my parents were just because they're old. I didn't want them to.
Same, yeah.
But I was telling them,
cancer survivor. I was like, yeah, you got to get it. This is not a conversation.
my grandpa passed in February 2021. He was very old. He was in a nursing home. But all my relatives are up north in Washington. For anyone who knows the Linden area, a farming community, right? But maybe going against the grain a lot, right? Not a whole lot of them are vaccinated. And I told my parents, I was like, you are not going over to their house. Like their plan was the funeral, and then we're all going to go hang out at my aunt's house, and we're all going to, you know, hang out for 4 hours.
Oh God.
Everyone like 30, 40 people. I'm like, no, you're not going. And none of them are vaccinated. I think this is before the vaccine was even out. I was like, you're not.
Yeah, because it was like April 21 it started, and then it was a select few who could get it. Yeah.
Right. I was like, no, you're not going. Like, and there had already been a few deaths in the area. I'm like, you're not going. Like, we're here for a funeral. We'll go and pay our respects. We'll wear a mask when we're there, and then we're out of there because we're not going to hang out in the petri dish at the house with several of them have had COVID.
Oh my God. You know, the funerals were super spreader events in the beginning, and then they shut it down because people were resistant. Like, we have to pay our last respects, and then like the whole family would end up with COVID.
Yeah, so fortunately they didn't go, but that was a tangent. So she was absolutely against the vaccine. I mean, that's weird, right? Because she's in jail.
Right.
Like, it's not like she's out watching the news or reading on online forums, like, you know, some deep web of like, or I mean, where is she getting the information that it's good or bad, right? Where is she? And if she's in jail, obviously they're probably trying to vaccinate them in there. But I mean,
think so. I don't know. I would think so. Because they're all in open bunks, right? Open pods.
Right. I mean, they must have had some kind of scare there, but it is jail. Like, people are coming in and out. It's not like prison where they're like, okay, you're in here for another few years. Like, people get locked up overnight, right? For drunken disorderly or something. COVID vaccine and relocation. And the relocation, again, like, there was almost no reason to oppose that on her part.
None.
Like,
I think it was a mental gymnastic, because if they went, that meant she might be found guilty. How dare Brian doubt her?
Yeah, I think it was a validation, or I mean, it would be seen as a concession, right? Because he threw in, we're going to be in Gainesville, you'll be right next to us. Now, I think that was savage and funny on his part.
I love
Don't worry, we're going to be much closer to the prison. Don't worry. For her to even agree to, like, okay, you can relocate, is somehow agreeing that, yes, you will be closer to the prison. Yes, I am going to be in prison, which is so contrary to her own belief that this is so even brought up on the contempt motion yesterday, or not the contempt motion, the closing arguments. I don't know if you saw it, like, her confusion over the parenting plan, the one from the relocation, where it clearly says at the bottom, we don't want to we don't want to hinder the relationship. We're proposing this long distance parenting plan. Footnote one, this is assuming she is released from prison and deemed safe or able to have overnight.
Yeah, right? Okay.
That sentence just somehow,
she lost her mind.
No, she it blanked. I think she saw it and she's like, It just was like it was a blank paper in front of her, because when you read that, then you would say, oh, but I am in prison, so therefore none of this next page matters. So why are you asking questions on it for 20 minutes in the trial? Like, why are you still objecting to it in the trial?
Right. She was just going to object anyway, because at the top, when the attorney had asked, is when she said she agrees to the relocation, does she agree to the relocation parenting plan? No, I don't. Like, okay, ma'am.
And I think, like, so then I think, well, what could she object to? So I was thinking, is she of the mind, so since it says like every other weekend, or spending every other weekend and then splitting holidays, because it's essentially the same parenting plan, but long distance. But he stays with dad for majority of the time. So does she, in her mind, is she convinced herself so much that she is getting out of prison that she feels when she gets out that because she'll be in Orlando or wherever, and
she was trying to move in with Lana, by the way.
Oh, really?
She asked if she could come and stay with them. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, I'm pretty sure she couldn't leave the state if she'd be on parole.
I don't know where she was. No, there's no parole in Florida.
Oh.
I don't know where the hell she would be going. And Orlando is just random. It was where your apartment was, but you're coming, if you came out, no money, no car, no job, no more stinky pink shorts. Like, where are you going?
No skills.
Who's helping you out? You know what I mean?
I would want to do that. She killed her last roommate. Why would you do that?
No, she wasn't going to.
But just like
her husband was like, hell no. But that was on the table. I was like, that's really weird.
Just like when she said to Philip in the text, I'm a really good roomie. I'm like, no, you're not. You killed him. You killed your last roommate with a suitcase. What are you going to do to your brother's wife? Like,
I know, and he would be gone and she would be there with the wife. I was like, nobody wants you there.
Nobody wants you there. So I was thinking maybe she thought that it would be used as a quote setup to when she got out of prison. Well, she can't exercise her every other weekend, so therefore it's another court motion for violating the parenting plan, and we can get her in trouble again somehow. I don't know. Like, she's like, there's no reason to oppose it. There's zero reason to oppose it. If you have to get out of prison first, and then we can worry about the visitations or whatever, right? But you are opposing this parenting plan for no reason, because there's nothing in it that binds you to it. It says as long as you're in prison, or if you get out of prison. So you're putting your priorities way out of whack here, and it's superseded by the new one that they filed, which I don't think she read.
Oh, you don't think she read it?
I don't. Well, if you read it, if she read it, how is she so hyper focused on the one from the relocation? Like, how is she not bringing up that question, saying, well, doesn't that not matter since there's a new one? Or, like, she never asked that. She never said.
But I think she was going to argue about it no matter what, because she's been arguing with herself, like, leading up to this. It's all practice. She just wanted to get it out. And did all holidays surprise you? Like, what she want to be included in some way in all holidays? I thought that was like a little weird.
Well, we could see, remember in her text messages, she was upset like on Thanksgiving or Easter. I don't remember which day it was, but basically the fact that they didn't set up that, I think by all holidays, she means a 15-minute video visit on all holidays. Like,
what if they're out of the country?
Find a computer.
Oh,
I don't care. Like, this is that sounds like a you problem.
Oh my God.
For being out of the country, not a me problem. Because you know where I'm
big
at.
Time difference, like, and then trying to figure it out. Like, it's too much. It's too.
You got to look it up. You got to look it up. I can't look it up. I'm in jail. I can tell you when I'm available, and then you can go ahead and get up at 3:45 in the morning over in the Mediterranean, where we are in Crete or
Switzerland. They're in Switzerland. But then that means like Brian has to keep her top of mind always. Like, every plan he makes has to be inclusive of the Looney Tune.
And I think that it's hard to say does she really want control, or she just want to not be forgotten? Because on the one hand, I think the control issue has to come down with think about it as well. Like you're a chronic alcoholic, that you are constantly getting drunk and doing things that you later have to sober up for, wake up for, and answer for, such as murder.
Right.
Like, so it's
If you
almost
remember.
like you're living with like Dr. Jekyll, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, whatever. Dr. Hyde, whatever, which one? It's two people.
Jekyll and Hyde.
Two souls in one body, two minds in one or one soul split into two bodies, but two counter personalities. I'm sure there is somewhere underneath all of that. I'm sure there is some part of her that still exists that goes, I wish I wasn't this way. But I think that person has just been like so beaten down inside of her. Like she's got to know that life would be much simpler if she wasn't like this, right? She's got to there's got to be some part of her that remembers that, don't you think?
No, because if that were true, then I would think she would understand her tactics are not working and she'd try something different. She keeps doing the same thing.
Yeah, well, what if it's like the sovereign citizen, right? Where you find some forum on the internet that says you can reject all laws and you don't have to pay your rent and you don't have to have a license, like all.
And you have a credit for your Social
Yeah.
Security. You have a trust.
Yeah, don't worry. You thought you were going bankrupt. You got $1 billion, actually. Don't worry. What if, I always think of with the sovereign citizens, right? Like the ones that get conned into it. That con is set up to be like, you have to push further. You have to keep going because eventually it's going to pay off, right? So it's almost like, the sunk cost fallacy. Just so Sarah think, I've come this far. I have to keep going because I believe it's going to work, and I can't turn back now because I've already pissed everyone off.
Right.
There's no do-over of like, okay, I'll be normal now, because no one's going to believe it.
Right.
And so she has to go with her original assumption.
So when she hits rock bottom, then she just whips out a jackhammer. I got to go lower.
Exactly. I don't think she has any other. I think she's so far gone. But I think that's the only sympathy I feel for her is in terms of whatever her relationship with alcohol is, in terms of like an actual addiction, right? If she is actually addicted versus using it chronically to escape her emotional stuff, right?
No, she's addicted. Yeah.
And so that's got to be terrifying that you're always getting drunk and you're waking up and you're finding out what stuff you have to take responsibility for. And so it's almost like you have no control, right? I woke up this morning and I found out what my drunk ass did last night. I have no control over the consequences of what my drunk self did. But then again, now she's been sober for, allegedly for 5 years, and she still is the same way. So
I don't think she's sober.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't. I mean, and like a lot of the lovelies were like, because when I read through her messages through jail, she had all those things of hand sanitizer, and then someone sent the whole thing about how you can make alcohol with that, and then the sugar and fermentation. Like she's sipping something.
I don't even think. I think I saw like what's that A&E show? What's Intervention or something like that?
Yeah.
They used to be on. I think I saw an episode where one guy was drinking hand sanitizer. Like you could drink maybe some of them or something, but it was a he or a she, but he was like downing like 4 bottles a day or something. And the doctor was like, this is going to kill you.
Yeah.
Because it's not meant to be consumed. This is like ethanol and stuff. It's binding with something and it's going to.
Right. Your kidney and liver are like, what the fuck?
You're going to die. It hasn't been filtered or something like drinking alcohol or like a consumable alcohol.
Rubbing, yeah.
Or there was another one. Another person was drinking rubbing alcohol, or like, what are you doing? So I think, if you're in prison and you got limited options, you're just going to start drinking the hand sanitizer, or maybe it's like the Robitussin. You drink the whole bottle. My roommates did that in college. Like
what? They like to get drunk?
They called it robo tripping, and they
oh my god!
They said they drink it, and I think it did. I mean, they obviously we weren't 21, so we couldn't buy alcohol. So They thought this would
So
be a
let's
great
get some
idea.
cussing.
And they were on the AV audio video club or team or something. And I was at a performance it was a smaller college, but like they were there supposed to be running the thing, and all of a sudden they just like kind of are like wandering onto the stage, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? And I would talk to them, they're like, no, it's okay, I need to leave. They were gone. It wasn't drunk. They were on another planet.
Oh my god.
But the prison food, she can't digest it, right? It's not that she doesn't want to eat it, it's that the prison food is not digestible. It's the food's fault she doesn't eat it.
Right. I needed more specificity on that too. Like, how did she know? Did it come back in some way? Like, how do we have proof that she's not able to digest it?
It's a good question that I never want answered, but
it's like such a random claim to make. Do you know what I mean? Like, some of it's not digestible. And then how come the other people are digesting it if that's the
right
case?
I mean, if there was an epidemic of undigested food, they'd probably be like, hey, maybe we don't serve that meal anymore.
Right.
Hey, every Tuesday we do
expiration date.
We do Taco Tuesdays, and then every Tuesday everyone's all sick and they can't digest anything. Like, maybe we switch it up. Maybe we take the Taco Tuesday off the menu.
Get another vendor, another supplier.
Get another vendor. We can't do this.
Were you surprised that her argument when he said, and you think Brian should pay for this? And she goes, it's in the order.
Yeah, she was twofold. One, I'm allowed to spend my alimony however I want.
Right.
And two, alimony is court ordered. Boom. Gotcha, Josh Martell. Bet you didn't know that. This alimony was court ordered.
Again, why are we here today, ma'am?
I mean, I asked that rhetorically in some of my preview videos, but like, it really is. You shouldn't have been there. Like, because even what they're calling for in the order, that is a pretty good outcome for Sarah, considering where she's at.
Very good. 12 visits.
12 visits and a weekly call.
Yeah.
Like, you could, I mean, I didn't even call my parents every week in college, right? Right? I don't call them every month now. I mean, I may see them every month. I didn't realize the other day I hadn't been there since Christmas, and they're like, it's been Christmas. I was like, 8 months? That seems long. They're only 40 minutes away. Like,
but you know what? Even when you talk to them, they're going to have had interesting travels or adventures. He's talking to her once a week about what? The food that she can't digest? Like, what's going on in her life that she needs to share with him?
Well, I mean, I think it would probably be a lot of prison gossip. Uninteresting to a 14-year-old.
Yes.
She's like, you'll not believe what Cindy did. Cindy was taking the tissues and she was wadding them up, and then Sarah came over and she was like, that's my tissue box. And then they got into a fight. Then they put the whole dorm on lockdown.
Oh, Mom, were you scared? Were you mad at Cindy?
And then you'll never believe it. I was in line for lunch, and then somebody got stabbed right in front of me.
Oh my God! It's bound to happen eventually.
Prison shanking stories. Oh yeah, she was a snitch. She got put down. Anyway, how's English going?
Right. How's your girlfriend? Is red it's still your favorite color?
Like, I didn't even think she had anything interesting to talk about originally, because we could see in that when she's sending the messages, she comes up with that stupid trivia game, like, how many eyes does a bee have? Like, okay, yeah, it's not, she treats it like it's a scavenger hunt. Like,
right,
go find 200 paces north of this clock tower, and then you'll face this up, like, and dig up what you find there, and then we'll go around. No, it's just a sip, like what? What are the common allergies to penicillin? Like, different. She runs out of trivia, so she's just reading medical information from the prison clinic.
And does she not know he has Google on his phone? Like, what is the point of these questions?
Right. I don't think she. You think? Well, he's 14 now. His voice would have changed by now, or recently, if it hadn't much before, right? It's got to have dropped by now.
I don't know when that happens. I should learn.
But
like freshman year,
12, 13.
Okay.
I would say 7th grade usually. So I mean,
okay.
I mean, it's different for everybody, but like, you've got to think that she probably part of the problem was that his voice stayed the same. It was very high for a couple years. So like she just had the mental image of him being the same.
Right. Of being that little kid that needs the fish.
Yeah. And so maybe, and I think when you're talking to somebody so frequently, you don't notice their voice change necessarily over time.
Right.
And so she is still locked him in as this young kid. I don't think, because she doesn't, I don't know. It just seems like, how would you even, like, when my kids were young, right? I couldn't imagine them being teenagers. And if I wasn't around them to see them become teenagers, it would have been impossible for me to fathom. So I don't know how she's picturing that. He's always going to be a little boy to her. I think.
Yeah, it feels that way. And also because they haven't seen each other in person. I know they've had the video visits, but like when they have an in-person, I'm sure he's standing over her by now because she's not that tall. And Brian seems tall-ish.
Yeah.
What is he, like 5'10", right? Somewhere around there. He's not like average, I guess. But no, 5'10" is a little above average, right? Yeah. Whatever. I think she once she sees him in person and also physically, he's going to be changed, right? Like that as he's gone through puberty, like his structure is going to be different. So maybe then
he'll have a full beard next time he shows up.
But I also think she's going to want to control him. I mean, in the back of my mind, that is her meal ticket in 20 years because all her other flying monkeys, or as you call them, idiots, will be gone. So she needs a pipeline of who's going to be buying my Zuzus and Wham Whams.
Well, I think it's really her last ultimate person she can manipulate, right? Because she does have that manipulation of a mother, right? She obviously is able to, based on the testimony that we heard from Brian, she is still able to control him in terms of having conversations, and he appears to, enjoy talking to her at times, and then she will just disappear and really be, it's horrible to do to a kid, right? You call him every day, and then he gets into a pattern, and then the next week you're gone, like without seemingly any explanation, or you're having a bad day in prison and you take it out on your son, saying like, just like she did in the messages, like, do you know how you make me feel? Like that guilt, that the horrible
I wanted
guilt.
you to feel what I feel.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think she doesn't realize that, like, he is the last person she will be able to have any kind of real relationship with outside of the prison, besides a prison inmate.
Right.
There's nobody else she's going to meet.
Right.
Like, she might have, her flying monkeys and idiots write her, but they're not going to, they're never going to hang out.
Right.
They're not going to come visit her frequently. They might once, but I keep saying this. Her son is her best bet for a visit.
Yeah.
Like, just have some remaining connection, and she's going to destroy it. She will not, she can't get out of her own way.
Right. He's going to need therapy though, because I feel, I mean, I know he's been going, but I'm saying, I feel like she's sticking it to him, like twisting it, guilting him. So he's going to have to be able to have that boundary of like, I said no. And that's like a whole sentence. I'm not going to keep, because she does that. I'm going to wear you down. And
right.
If you oppose her, she's going to keep talking because she hasn't said enough. That's why you don't know to agree with her.
And I think, I agree with you. I think that's the problem though. She's used to doing that and then moving on to somebody new, right?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
She doesn't realize
wise. Okay.
This is it. You're not going to have a second chance with somebody else, like another son.
Right.
or somebody else, or you're going to get back together with Brian. Not happening. It's kind of sad that she can't realize that once he gets counseling and realizes, hey, maybe not everything she's doing to me is good, right? Hopefully he gets counseling sooner rather than later. What did you think, or what do you think about, people were asking, or what do you think, aside from the judge just saying, yeah, petitioner's position adopted, right? Their closing argument of the motion. Do you think the judge will do anything extra or do anything additional, or should she do anything extra?
That is a good question. And I was wondering the same thing. I hope, as far as she has like judicial authority to account for something, I would hope she would restrict it even further, like the phone calls and the visits, because I think Brian was overly generous. Like, on average, I would say most inmates get like a Thanksgiving or Christmas, and probably not every year, right? So he's being super generous. I wish she would have been able to talk to the son. But I feel like Brian is accurately representing what the son wants. I just don't know if nor he nor the son have the boundaries established to understand how generous they're being.
Yeah, and I'll go back to what I think the judge should do. But a lot of people, well, actually, so the first place, then I'll go to what comments people have been making in the videos. I think it would be entirely within her discretion, because she's a family court judge. Remember, this isn't a criminal case, and it's not a civil small claims court. This is actual family court where these judges can order stuff all the time.
Okay.
I think it would be entirely appropriate. You know, she always wants the guardian ad litem. She should order Sarah to have some. It needs to be supervised, and then it needs to be deemed like this is healthy interaction, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you're on probation, man. We're gonna let you have this call and this visit and see how it goes, but this person's gonna report back, and if it's no good, you're cut off. We're not gonna do it. I think that it really hinges. I think I said last night, if Sarah's best move right now is to say nothing. Say nothing, have it go in. Because if she sends in another document for her closing, that is even her double-sided 5-page insanity, where she's blaming everyone again. I liked how Josh Martell pointed out, he goes, she can't even take responsibility for the murder she committed. You can't be an adult and be around a child. If you can't take responsibility for something that is so obvious, how can you be trusted to raise or influence a child? I think hopefully that would be my best outcome in terms of, all right, set it up 12 visits, 1 call a week. But she's got to pass some kind of check first. She's got to have somebody that is trained in, child psychology or something.
Right.
Watch interaction.
Right.
Because we know when they're on the phone. I mean, it even sounded like that when she called. That was the other surprising thing. She called him the night before the trial. She called. Like,
why do you think that? I thought that was very odd. What do you think she? I
think she called to basically, say, like, you know what your dad's doing tomorrow? He's trying to get me, he's trying to make us not have phone calls anymore. So I want you to go tell your dad that you want phone calls, and tell daddy stop doing this, right? Like that's what else would she? That's totally in line with her, right?
Right. Oh my God, how awful. Ugh.
Or saying, what is your dad doing right now? He doesn't want you to have. I want to have money to spend on you, but he wants to keep his own money.
Right. Yes.
Like all this. Don't you want mommy to have? I can't eat. Don't you want mommy to have food so she can eat? Like,
yeah, even in the text messages, she was like, "Your dad won't give me this for a hot meal." She totally was saying crap to him the night before. Oh my God.
So that is absolutely what I think they said, because Brian even kind of alluded to it. Like, yeah, I know he talked to him last night, and it sounds like maybe they had another conversation either before that or maybe after it, where her son or I'm going to say his son
Yeah.
said to him, I really wish it was up to me. Right. And
Yes.
I think then even Brian had to say something like, well, I understand that, but like there is the law, because and this goes into the comments. Like people have been saying, Brian, and I'm not blaming people for feeling this way. Brian is being very accommodating, but Brian is also being very strategic, right? All these family court hearings that you see when the two parents come in and they're like scorched shirts, like, I don't want him to see my ex at all, right? They should be like cut off, right? I should have total control. Most of the time, the family court does not grant that, and takes an adverse view of it, saying like, what? Why do you want to cut him off so much? So I mean, and it's been 5 years of him having to put up with this. So you can imagine having Sarah call your house every day for a week for 5 years, and one call a week would seem like a godsend. It'd be like, oh my God, it's only once a week.
And when it is, so you're like not anxious. Like, oh my God, the phone's ringing. Is that her?
Right,
yes.
Okay. He's got a test tomorrow. Like the phone's ringing. Oh, and then if he doesn't pick it up, it's going to keep ringing. She's going to keep calling over and over, just like she says in her text messages. I called 4 times and nobody picked up. So it's just like this menacing presence that is somehow still locked in prison, but is still able to interfere and harass your life the entire. It would just be insane. It would be maddening. It would be a horrible way to live. So you've got to take into account that not only is it very hard to get legally cut off from your ex-spouse, but he is not making it official. Like that is not happening right now. He is getting called every day. He is right. You can tell phone calls are the biggest deal to him. You could tell outside before the trial when he was describing, he's like, "Oh my God, one phone call a week would be amazing."
Wow.
No problem with one visit a month and one call a week. That would be. He almost said like that would be incredible. That would be incredible to have, because at this point, that is not at all what the reality is. You have this person still interfering in his son's life every day. And it's ultimately never going to go anywhere, right? I'm sure she is still trying to like feed his brain with like, hey, I'm going to get out of here. My appeal is working.
Oh, I hope not.
I mean, well, she says that to herself. Why wouldn't she say it to her son? Right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if it doesn't go out, be like, oh, the attorney is screwing me over. Dad's not helping me. He wants to leave me in here. All this kind of manipulative stuff. Let's hit some of the super chats here. I'll put up.
Hopefully they'll do supervised visits then, if the judge has that judicial authority. Like, because I said it from before, I would have never allowed her, even when she was free, to be alone with my child.
No, I would say supervised visit and supervised calls for the first, call it 90 days. And there's going to be a report back. And, if it's bad, she gets limited to, maybe Thanksgiving and Christmas video visit. Right. That's it. Like, you lost it. Here, I'll put these up. This one's for you.
Hi, my pro se client. How are you? Not Tanika getting love from Denmark while Nicole is too lazy to drive over from Australia, Texas. The shade.
Is Nicole from Texas or
she claims to be in Australia, but she has the VoIP. So we do the phone calls over on my channel, and sometimes she calls like Brian and the son 1 minute apart 7 times. It's crazy. But yeah, so Nicole claims to be from Australia. She's got a US number. It's a voice over IP, so it could be from anywhere, but we were chatting earlier about how not one person showed up to support her, even though she wasn't there in person. Like, I mean, maybe they were on the WebEx. I don't know, but it was, yeah.
I mean, even the news didn't show up.
Were you expecting the news?
I wasn't personally, but then once I was there, I was thinking, I was like, yeah, why wasn't anyone else here? Like, you know, I mean, even like
well, Donna Adelson is going on right now too.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
But I mean, send one of your lackeys. You know, Dan Abrams doesn't have to come himself, but send the junior beat reporter. Be like, hey, go down and check out that family trial. Like, her first trial was crazy when she was on the stand. Let's see what happens now, right?
Yeah.
Maybe because there wasn't any video recording, but even then, like, we still have time to talk about. We couldn't record it, like, but we still have time to talk about.
Right.
It's interesting in retrospective that, you know, so few people, like the 7 of us that were there, we're the only one that witnessed this, and like besides people on the WebEx, but you know, everyone saw her trial. Everyone watched the millions. Like, how do you watch the interrogation has millions of views, her trial millions of views, and then it's almost like it's like it was forgotten. Like, this is like an afterthought. Like, it wouldn't be as crazy, which I knew it would be.
Yeah, totally.
That's why I was going.
Right.
Here's this next one for you.
As a Little Debbie distributor in Louisiana, I can confirm there's no medicinal purpose for honey buns. Buzzman Jr. Oh my God, that's hilarious. For Sarah, there are. She, you know, it's her, what is it? Her blood sugar? Is that how she says it? Or glucose? Okay.
Low blood sugar. And medical snacks. When she said medical snacks, I was like, ma'am.
But even if she needed them, right? Like, maybe there's this mysterious disease that she said her grandfather had a unique form. Even if it is, how is it Brian's problem?
Right. It would be the jail. Like, if this is something that can kill you, ma'am, I'm sure the jail will handle it.
Right.
And I'm sure you would be diagnosed with something.
Right.
By a doctor, not WebMD. Like, that brings me back to, I think that I don't remember who I asked. Somebody, but they disagreed. I said, I think she basically takes the Snickers hangry commercial and she uses that. She sees that. She's like, oh yeah, I'm hangry. Like, she's using it to excuse all of her behavior, right? Like, when she's in one of her yelling moods and that kind of stuff, she would explain it away like, my blood sugar is really low right now. You don't understand. Like, you know what I mean? She's blaming it on some kind of medical condition that is undiagnosed and unknowable, but she's able to explain away her own behavior as a medical condition where she needs that Snickers.
Oh my God. And it also might have the positive side effect. If people buy into it, they'll start buying her Snickers, right? Make sure she has it. We don't want that non-Snicker Sarah around.
Hey, you're a real you don't have the right snacks, so I don't like being your cellmate if you're hungry. So what do you need? What do you need here? How many Three Musketeers? Is this good for the week? All right, I'll get you 7 of those. I'm holding on to them though, because I don't want you to eat them all at once. I've got to ration these out.
We got to ration it out.
She's yelling. They're like breaking off a piece and like throwing it at her. Like
oh my God.
Polynomial purebred, $4.99. Meanwhile, she is sending flying monkeys with questionable from
mail. I think
Polynomial's keyboard is acting up. Questionable from mail records to stock. Oh yeah, somebody mentioned this. Like, they're mailing Brian, and I don't know. Like I don't understand. So this one is right, so I'll do this.
Outstanding.
Oh my God, thank you, Paul. We were trying to figure out, does he have a PO box that she's having people send it to? Because that's weird. You're giving strangers the address of where your child lives. That's odd.
Well, not for Sarah, because Sarah doesn't believe in personal privacy, except for her son, her son needs his own personal space, which is why she needs to call him every day. Like she says those 2 words, or those 2 different, those are total opposition to each other. Your son needs his own space to grow up away from his father, but you are calling him more than a girlfriend would. Like,
right.
All right. This
How's
next
he
one's for
going to
you.
have a healthy relationship? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, this one's for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Excellent content. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
And we get 2 more here. This is for you.
I can't wait. So glad I have today off work for this. Hey, Karen Winsmore.
I don't know if I would take off work for this, but
I think maybe she already had it.
You already had it. Okay, well, I'm just presuming she took a vacation. She's like, you know what? I need a personal day. So you can hear me out or going live.
Imagine.
And this last one for you.
I'll meet your goal. Thank you.
You have
Thank
a
you.
What's your goal?
Yeah, I don't remember what it is. But the win is if I meet my goal, then I will post another
And you shave your head.
video from the trial. I'll edit it tonight and post it tonight. Wait.
No, shave your head. Shave your head. Shave your do
Oh my god. I'm afraid of what I already have like a 5 head. Imagine if there's no hair. I don't know what's under here. I'm sure I don't have like a cute little skull.
Yeah, I'm sure I have dents everywhere and like scars. And, so somebody said I don't know if you ever go on Reddit. I went on Reddit the other day because people were mentioning that I was mentioned on Reddit. So I went over there and looked and saw one of the guys. One comment was like, "Oh, I really like this commentator, but I hate the cat interruptions all the time." I'm like, what cat interruptions? And I'm like, I wrote, I was like, are you talking about the super chats? Like the super chat video? Because other than that, I don't really know what cat interruptions there are. I know my first few streams, the cat physically stepped on the reset button and interrupted the stream. And I was like, but he doesn't seem like an OG fan. That would be real. That's a deep cut if he's talking about where the cat would reset the computer.
Oh my god. He's going way back.
He's going way back. He's like, this cat is resetting the stream all the time. I have to watch part 1 and part 2.
Oh my god.
Let me see. The other question.
Larry Powers. Son needs more space, like he's a free range child.
Yeah, exactly. But not too free range, just free range outside of the prying eyes of his father.
How does it happen though? Like in terms of legal enforcement of something that is legally enforceable, this more space. Like he needs to get a bigger house, mark out more square footage, keep his father X amount of feet away. What does it mean?
Hey, what's up, Nightish? I think what they mean is she would like, what show did they do that? I think it was Friends or something, right? You take the tape down the center of the house or something. This is my side. This is your side. You don't get across. I don't know if that was Friends or somebody, but the bathroom was on the other person's side, and like, nope, bathroom's on my side.
So he needs like half of the house, like a bachelor pad.
I don't know. Like, I think it's just. I think if I had to guess, I would guess that it's probably the normal angst of a teenager. 1 second. Baba Gadoosh, 1999. I love you both. Thank you for the laughs. Well, you are very welcome, Baba Gadoosh. And despite Reddit's another cat interruption. I think when I'm trying to remember when I was a teenager, right? I spent a fair amount of time. You just want to do your own thing, right? Have your own space and that kind of thing. And I'm sure probably Brian has a normal level of, like, for instance, let's say, he has this girlfriend. Let's say a rule of no closed doors in the house, something like that, right? A very reasonable rule. And he complains to mom, like, oh, he makes me keep the door open, and he's always, we have to be in the living room whenever my girlfriend comes over. And so she's like, you know what? You should have your own space. And saying to Brian, he needs to have his own space, and saying to Lucas, you know what? If it was up to me, you would have your own wing of the house, right?
Right.
But yeah, none of her stuff, almost nothing that she proposes is like legally enforceable. Like, be nice to me, like, or don't. What does she say? She's like, oh, don't call me murderer. Well, you are a murderer,
Right.
You know, don't the swearing. That was I did. I have one correction to make. When I did my trial recap, I thought she had said, "Do you love my son?" In the middle of her questioning, she said, "Did you see my trial?" And that makes a lot more sense because
okay, yeah.
I mean, you were there. It's very hard to understand what she was saying sometimes. Thankfully, the court kept saying, "What did you say?"
Right.
Because she was like eating her microphone, like, but yeah, she was like, "Did you see?" I can't believe she brought up her trial at the hearing. Why bring up the trial? The trial is not, and that was actually my favorite line from Brian in retrospect. Besides saying, "Because I don't care" and everything, when she asked, what she say, "Were you?" Let's see. I'll look it up real quick. Trial.
While you look that up, I thought you were going to talk about his mom telling him to feel up the girl. And like, you should go overskirt at this age and underskirt at that age.
Wait, what?
When you were talking about Sarah and giving him room for his girlfriend, I thought you were going to say she was going to give him advice, like how to get to space with the girl. You need the door closed. You need space.
She said, "Do you understand what my criminal case was about?" And he said, "Oh, yeah."
Oh. Ring, ring, clue phone. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do. Like, I think, did she think she was going to get sympathy because of it? Like, what?
Yo, of course, she's the victim. That damn
Why
George.
bring this? You know, I mean, but like, you're at a family court, ma'am, for trying to retain some kind of custody or decision making, and you're going to bring up your murder trial. Like, well, I'm not bringing it up. I'm only bringing up one aspect of it. I'm just bringing up the aspect that my victim was actually the perpetrator, and it was not my fault, and that's the reason I couldn't have my son over there. Idiot.
Right.
An idiot.
Right. Oh my God. What did she mean? Because there was something else where she was talking about her trial and her pending release. And she was like, because I'm going to keep fighting like I have been since day one.
Yeah.
You're not winning, ma'am.
Oh, she's losing. She's taking L after L. Yeah, okay, here it is. What'd she say? This might not be a part I cleaned up, but I want to be, as far as my son's life, and people forget that the appeal to prove my innocence, my innocence, not just getting out of her innocence, which I've been doing since day one.
What was the point of that? Why did she tell the judge that? I was like, this is really weird. You're emphasizing your delusion.
Because she's trying to make it, I mean, I think what she's doing is she's taking we're all saying, why is this hearing happening? And for good reason. The hearing shouldn't have happened. She should have just agreed. But she is taking the opinion that, no, we are talking about, the rest of my life. And if we're talking about the rest of my life, we have to take into account the fact that I'm going to be released. And so, judge, don't just treat this as I'm a lifetime prisoner, because that's not going to be the situation forever. Pretty soon, actually, what is it, Tuesday? I'm going to be out here. We're looking probably at Friday, Monday at the latest that I'm going to be out of here.
Oh my God. See, my mind is too logical, because I'm like, why does she keep bringing it up? Once you're free, then you file a motion for that time. Like,
no.
contemporaneously.
That will, no. See, that's too much wasted time. That's too, I'm going to get out. I'm not going to have money for the lawyer. And Big Bad Brian is going to have all, he's going to go into the court and say, well, this has already been in place, and I'm all the way down in Orlando, and I'm going to have no rights because that's where my car is. Right? I'll be sleeping out of my car, but
it's scrapped, honey. Sorry.
Well, maybe I can get to that storage locker. I can just pay the $240 again and sleep in there. It was 10 by 10, right? That's pretty big. That's bigger than my cell. That would seem like a mansion. You all are so ungrateful for what you have. I had to share a cell with another person versus a 10 by 10 open storage unit.
Please stop. Oh my God. Wait.
So I think that's also why, that she had such a problem with the relocation parenting plan, because once she gets out, if she's found to be in violation, she will just get more punishment stacked up on top of her. That's also why, she's not, she's also an idiot though, because she should be making the argument with the alimony.
Right. She barely touched on the alimony. Like, she went on and I thought that was going to be like the most contentious thing.
I think she thought, well, she didn't directly address it. What she did was she tried to lay the foundation for all these expenses that she had. She
entered into evidence like the cost of the uniforms and the cost of the food. Who cares? Why is that Brian's problem?
Well, the phone calls, that was a real Perry Mason moment when she got that 13.5 cents per minute introduced and said, Brian, you knew this cost when you signed up, right? He had the perfect answer to everything. He goes, well, yeah, there was no other way for you to make phone calls, so I had to sign up. So you agreed to it, right? So, or walking yourself into horrible responses. So is it the cost, or is it harmful to our son for me to call him? Both.
Yeah. Oh my God,
Sarah, you can't be this bad. Like, what have you been doing for 5 years? She could have just watched or read any number of books. I'm sure that every book she could have had access to, the page 1 of cross-examination or interviewing witnesses. Don't ask a question you don't know the answer to.
Right.
Now, Sarah's problem is that she thinks the answer that is in her brain is the only one that could be there. Which is why she said several times, you're under oath, or Brian.
I haven't got to that part in the audio yet. I want to hear that. But she thinks she's so smart. There isn't a question that she doesn't know the answer to.
Right. And if it's not the answer she's looking for, it's a lie.
Right. You're
just
out to get her.
The attorney's fees, those are voluntary. Those are voluntary, right? You went out and hired your own attorney. Is that not true? Is that not a fact? You hired an attorney. That's your fault, not mine.
Oh my God.
Oh, just she didn't even understand. She didn't even understand parental rights. Like she does not understand like the difference between custody, legal custody, physical custody, parental rights. I don't think she thought, again, she doesn't understand how good she still has it.
Right.
She can basically get written off and nobody, if she loses her parental rights, she has nothing at that point. She can't force anyone to pick up the phone.
Right.
They could get the number blocked. They can never visit her. She will die in jail alone, or prison alone forever.
Yeah.
But okay, I remember what I was saying earlier. If she writes in her pages like that's going to be the worst thing for her. She should not do anything. If she writes another batch of crazy for the closing argument, I think the judge will take additional measures. And I know that it's not going to be the last letters, no matter what.
Oh no, because she's going to write one after the order comes out about how everyone was out to get her, and the judge was biased and didn't let her come in person, didn't give her a gout. It'll be a laundry list.
Even though this judge went above and beyond explaining, like
I know
But she was also, and she also had boundaries though. Like I've, you know, hate to say it, but up here in Washington, a lot of the judges are very pushover, right? I watched them like, you're embarrassing our state. Why are you letting this guy go on and on and on? Like, you know, sovereign citizens are just crazy people. Or eating up like an hour and a half. I'm like, why do you think we have such a backload here? Put them in contempt, throw them in the clink for 24 hours. They'll answer the question tomorrow.
Right.
But at the end, when she wouldn't repeat, she said, no, I've if you don't know what we're talking about for the closing arguments, I've already said it enough. I'm not going to say it again. And she doesn't. She sticks by her guns. That was good.
Right.
What was I going to say? Sarah also said many things or phrases. Did you get the impression that she didn't think this was the final hearing?
Yes.
Which
yes.
was
I
odd.
actually said that in my you yesterday well. Because I'm like, it is even because when the correctional officer was like for the next hearing. So I think like she got that from Sarah, and we weren't covering she thought we weren't covering the parenting plan. So she thought something else was going to happen.
Yeah. Cause she kept saying, well, this hearing today, maybe I'm reading into it too much, but like the judge said, no, the judge even said, we're at the final hearing on this matter, right? I think she thought this was like the opening round of, you know, this is going to be for her contempt motion for alimony. And then Brian and his attorney just like, you know, sidled on to my hearing with all their nonsense and
evidence and facts.
Right.
Concern.
But the judge did say that her motion would be considered, right? This is the one I was asking you about, like,
yes, she took it under judicial notice because really it is impacted by the outcome, like what the order is. Like if she grants his order, then Sarah's contempt is moved.
Well, if it's twofold, she can grant. So, like in the closing argument, like I suspected from what they were saying, they are agreeing that he owes the alimony before he filed because that was a mess up,
right?
And that keeps precedent intact. That was not a surprise to me,
right?
And that's smart by the lawyer to agree. Yeah, you know what, Judge, we do owe that money, and she owes us a bunch more. So we're just going to call it even.
Right.
Very, very good lawyering there.
And he's an honest A because he corrected it. He put 26,000 in the paper, even though in the court they agreed to 15.
Right.
Like and I don't technically think he owes February because she got arrested at the end, but he could have just repeated what she said on the record. But I think she made a miscalculation when she was like, are we agreeing it's 15,000?
Interesting. Okay. That's where the 15 came from. Yeah. Cause I saw the 26 in there. I was like, now it's back to 26. Like what?
He's honest. He didn't try to like pull a fast one.
Right. And so she can grant that, which technically puts him in violation. She can then consider Sarah's motion because at that point it is applicable by the fact that he did stop paying, and she can merely say, no sanctions, no contempt, denied.
Right. I'm thinking it would be moot because she's going to also offset it, so it zeroes it out. Do you know what I mean? Right. And so then it's not really contemptuous. It's like you weren't paying child support. He wasn't paying alimony. It's all a wash.
Right. Do you think that she's harping on the appeal? She's not this smart. I was saying,
finish the sentence.
She'd be harping on the appeal because in his he gets the 38,000 from calculating from her date of her arrest through his 18th birthday. Would she possibly be saying, well, if I get out, then he's still going to be a minor, so I wouldn't owe that child support at that point. We can't just go ahead and assume that I'm going to owe it all because what is it, February?
That's a new motion. File it when it happens.
I think I'm getting out of here on the 1st of March. That's my plan, at least, depending on what's going down at the cafeteria. But read these to a sec. This one, these are mine. I have no booners in my real life. I am loving this conversation. I don't have any booners either.
No booster.
You guys are
post
my
like mine.
boomers.
So Hear Me Out got called out by Tanika earlier liar over overhyping Skinny Brian.
And now all the ladies. Oh yeah, they asked me,
All
was
the
he?
ladies
I
are-
was like, he's thinner, but I wouldn't call him skinny.
Wait, but my pro say I didn't get called out. I didn't call him skinny. I think Suma said, or no,
You
not
didn't
Suma.
overhype him on being skinny.
No, I said, I think Larry said he looked good. Or
I
maybe
think
it was
good
Edie
too.
Beatty. He did.
And
He looked
had
good.
like some pep in his step. He seemed more energized than at the trial. I mean, appropriately so. It was a murder trial, but he just seemed like a little more carefree.
He was light on his feet. He was light on his feet. The way he walked into the room, he commanded the like, Brian, it's Brian. No, I didn't notice. I really didn't notice he was skinnier until I looked at his photo from the trial. I was like, oh yeah, he has lost weight.
I could see it from the back with him just in the chair. Like he's lost weight. And he had a fresh haircut that day. He was like, I'm ready.
Oh my goodness. Oh, really? Did Hear Me Out say that only skinny people are with? Why would I say that? I am not skinny. Oh, now you're using Sarah logic, ex Derek. What are you doing?
Oh my God. Hello, ex Derek.
No booners in my people did not understand. I've had no one in my real life understand why I cover this woman, why I was going to the trial. I got a ride to the airport from my parents because they're closer down there, and they're like, well, what are you gonna do? I'm like, well, I meet up with the other people that are going. They're like, other people are going? Like, yes. I was like, I know at least two people that are going. One of them staying in my hotel. They're like, they're staying overnight there. Like
I
don't,
didn't.
because they assumed when I said other people were going that, because they live down the street from the courthouse, right?
Oh.
I'm like, no, they're traveling to the court case. And then I'm like, yeah. And then when I started recording, I was like, oh, I talked to these people. The first people I talked to Muldoons. And then they're giving me YouTube advice. Like, they're like, make sure you get people's permission before you record. I'm like,
oh my God.
You think, Mom? You think that, like, and people watch this?
This madness we call it.
Yeah, and I was just like, yeah, people watch it. People watch me. The things I keep sending you that you don't watch. Or that was actually the part of probably the funniest conversation back when they picked me up from the airport. They're like, so tell us how it went. I'm like, I've been streaming. Like I sent you the link where I talk about what happened in the trial for 4 hours last night. And they're like, yeah, well, we started to watch it and, then we had to stop. And I'm like, but it's me describing what happened. And now you're asking me to describe what happened again. You get like, so was she guilty? Or was it like, just watch the link. I said, I've a discussion for you. You want to hear a discussion? Watch the video. And then, of course, I drop an F-bomb within the first 20 minutes or something. Then my mom's like, you shouldn't swear. And I'm like, yes, I don't normally swear. I specifically don't normally swear or bleep myself out for you, Mom.
Oh my God. Do you secretly live in your mom's basement?
No.
Oh my God. That's adorable.
And then I was on my fantasy draft last night. My brother was at our mutual friend's house. They were doing the draft down there. And then I was telling him about, because I hit 3,000 subscribers, like right at the.
Congratulations.
Where's this?
Right at
That's not it. We have to let it finish. That's Lauren. I thought it was going to be applause. They're like, oh, really? And then the one guy and his wife were like, yeah, we watched one of your videos the other day and you were wearing a wig and talking to some woman. And so I assume they meant Suma.
Oh, okay.
And I turned it off.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, well, did you subscribe? And they're like, no. And then my brother's like, yeah, he just got back from Florida. And they're like, you went to Florida for a trial?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. So did you have anything else? Like we're right at hour 20, probably a good time. Like we can always do a part 2 some other.
Yeah, that is all I have for now. I'm waiting to see mainly the judge's order. I mean,
Yeah.
of course, if Sarah drops her closing argument, I definitely want to read it. But I think I told you before we started, like, I've been having dreams about it. It's hard for me to understand, like, her thinking process and, like, if it exists. So it's just like, I feel she's right where she belongs. It was only a matter of time that she got into this type of situation, because even like her
Absolutely.
negotiating, like she goes for low hanging fruit. Like, what do you want? Normally when someone negotiates, you can tell like what their prize is and then where their concession is. But like, she just talks about random stuff, like her medicinal honey buns. And it's like, who in here gives a fuck? Like, who cares?
Right. Nobody cares, Sarah. And she seems to be the only one that thinks like it's an even, she's treating it like it's a normal family case. Like well, not actually, no, she's not even, she's saying she is better than Brian.
Right.
Right. And that's why she wanted the guardian ad litem, so we could see what Brian was doing.
Yes.
Oh my God. She's just, when did, I'll close with this. It'd be interesting. I always think about these people that have these crazy it'd be these crazy way of thinking. If there was some pill we could give them so that like they would temporarily be sane, and then ask them, okay, Sarah, remember when you were crazy? Like you were arguing that your ex-husband was making you do all this thing, or that your victim killed himself by not getting on the street. Did you know that was a lie? Or how did you get where do you come up with these like mental gymnastics? How describe the process, how you get from A to Z.
I need a flow chart.
Nobody else could do this. Yes, like, and we could find something out about like the human brain, or like it is so, almost like a form of schizophrenia, but it's not like auditory, it's not hallucinations. It's just my brain will make up all of the points connecting and reframe this argument for me so that I am the good person. Like, that's wrong, right, Sarah? And she could tell us, yeah, that was total bullshit. And I knew it was wrong the entire time, but I couldn't accept responsibility for what I do, because that would, lessen my image. My ego couldn't take it. So I had to come up with any explanation that would, and you knew you were making people mad doing it. Oh yeah. I knew.
No way she has that much self-awareness. No way.
No. And there's no way she's going to, there's almost no way no path you could see of her changing. What would it take at this? I mean, killing somebody would be the wake-up call for most people.
Right. That's why I tell you, she gets the jackhammer out. As soon as she hits rock bottom, she's digging.
It's just like that Mackenzie Shirilla, right? She's a much younger version where, it is not my fault. Everyone else, like, you don't see how, I mean, has a lot of influence from her parents as well.
Her mom, too. Those two are nutty as a fruitcake. Oh my God, those phone calls.
They're just a feedback loop, reinforcing each other. Like she needs to talk to a counselor and not her mom.
Right.
But her worldview is so warped at this point. Like how do you bring somebody like that back?
How did they get there? Where was that road? Like,
that's the other question. How do you get there? And then, but even then, even people, like, there are people like that, but they don't end up killing somebody. So what is the difference between, what makes them cross that line, right? What makes them cross that line to where they are so indifferent and so self-centered that they don't see anybody else, that they end up killing somebody by, I wouldn't say directly by I'm going to kill them, but they're so
actions resulted in that. Yeah,
actions result in the death because they can't think of anybody but themselves. They can't think of what would it be like to be in the suitcase. Oh, this would be horrible. I would die. Okay, I'm going to let him out. You think, I love torturing it. I love being able to yell at him. This is great.
It has to be. And I've said it on my channel, and I truly believe this. George ended up being a scapegoat for the son, or not scapegoat, of sacrificial lamb for the son, because I think she would have struggled when he was in, like, now, this age, right?
Yeah.
And he's going to defy her, and that makes her lose her mind, right? Because in that scenario, she's the highest power. Like with George, it was the police. With Brian, it's the judge. But for her, she doesn't have to answer to anyone with what she does to him. It was only a matter of time, you know?
You're saying it would have ended up like, what's her name? I can't think. She's an idiot. Letitia Stout. Right?
Yes.
He ends up killing Gannon, right?
Yes.
Because he broke something, or
that
you know,
control.
whatever.
She
that control.
felt like, like that.
Because she doesn't have any control over her own life, because she doesn't have any skills, because she's a drunk, and you know, so having that's the only way she could give herself any importance.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna read these last ones, and then we'll sign off. So, Sandy TCF, I think this is on your channel, says, member for 10 months. You two are terrific collaborators.
Thank you.
Polynomial purebred, $1.99. Are you, hear me out, using the gray wig for Donna A? I've not considered doing any Donna A yet. I am using the gray wig for Brian. Sam,
nice.
And then I've got a little one that looks like a toupee. That's what I'm going to use for his lawyer. But I'm not even going to bother sticking the hair. It's just too much hair for that small wig. I'm very excited about the phone I'm going to be using for Sarah that is coming. But it comes tomorrow. Or I think it comes today. Is today Friday? Yeah, it should come today. The 29th.
Friday, yep.
I'll be here today. Everyone, when you see it, you'll instantly understand why it's funny. Bama Green Eyes, member for 12 months on your channel.
Yes, and a fabulous mod. Thank you for being a moderator, Bama Green Eyes.
Azure Mist, I can never pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. Azure Mist. Love all your shenanigans in Orange County. Meow Gusta. Okay, well that is
meowsing.
I like her screen name. Is it like Azure Blue and Amethyst?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I can't
like
pronounce
that.
words well, so words hurt me, or words struggle for me. And one last one, Brit Girl 999. Thank you for making the trip. You are very welcome. But we'll sign it off there. Have a good rest of your Friday and weekend, everyone. We'll do an outro.
Derek, did you see what he wrote?
No, let me look here. It's probably something immature and
what's with all the cat interruptions?
yeah, exactly. What's with all the cat interruptions? Well, I don't know. Have you seen? Actually, I'll play this for you. Do you know the movie Election?
Yes.
With Reese Witherspoon?
Yes.
Did you see my Sarah Boone version of that?
I did.
Okay. I'll just leave
that. I want to know how you did it. I've watched it like 29 times.
I will tell everyone. So that was the other thing. And Larry was talking with me about this. When you ask somebody, "Hey, how did you do that?" and then they don't never tell you. It's like it's their own secret. Like they've gotten some program and they don't want anyone else to find it, because then they can start creating their own stuff. So it's actually it was I don't know how to describe it. So it's a computer app that I run on the machine. It's called Pinocchio, but it's spelled like P-I. It's not spelled like the movie.
Okay.
It's not pulling up on my thing right now. And then within there, you can open different apps. So it runs, I think it's made to be like a subscription thing, because it takes a lot of, Pinocchio. I'll put it in the chat here.
But you laid Reese's face on top of Sarah's face,
yes,
right?
It's a face. It's a face fusion is what it's called, but it does way better than anything I've seen. And PIN, so Pinokio. Okay. And then within there, you can load different programs that are free. You need a pretty powerful graphics card. So, for instance, that clip one clip of 240 frames or 300 frames takes like a half hour. Like it's intense because it's going like one frame at a time, and it's not always perfect, but it is the best one I've found. It's called Face. So everyone out there, it's called Face Fusion 3.3.2. You could just Google that, and then you will get results on Google or whatever. But you have to install Pinocchio, and then you have to install the program and run it on your machine. You could do it online. There is like it's cloud computing, so it will allow you to do it there. But then you have to pay for whatever. I'm just tired of paying for stuff. Like
it looks too intimidating for me. I don't think I'll be doing it, but I've watched it over and over.
It really worked. It really worked well. Once I get it, I was like, okay. And some come out better than others. So I did. Is this overlay here still? You can see I did for Suma and I. Oh no, it's not there. I did the intro to SNL. Has nice. That one with Patrick Swayze and Chris Farley, where the Chippendale dancers.
Yes.
So she was Patrick Stewart, and I'd blurred out her chest, and then I was Chris Farley.
Oh, I think I saw it in one of the.
I may have put up an image of it, but it wouldn't let it. NBC immediately struck it. It was like, nope, you can't even share this with anyone. I'm like, really? Jeez. It's funny, but what, like, you got to have total control over this just because putting face on there. But yeah, so anyone who wants to do face swap, use that for you. So I will do that as the outro, I guess. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Testimony. The defendant's testimony.
Act surprised. Walk slowly to the podium. Be modest. Thank them for this incredible honor.
The sentence as follows. Ms. Boone, court sentences you to life in the Department of Corrections with credit time served that Madam Clerk will provide to you momentarily. There are also court costs and costs of prosecution, which Madam Clerk will give you the totals of momentarily. Due to the court levying a life sentence, the court is inclined to liquidate those to a civil judgment.